In this video, we will demonstrate the SMD4E encoder module and how this functions with the AML device control software. For this video, we are using a demonstration rotation stage fitted with an incremental encoder. So let's start by selecting the incremental encoder option on the software. We then need to set a displacement per count. This is how far the stage moves per count of the encoder. The flip button allows us to set the encoder scale direction in relation to the motor to ensure that these are both synchronized. We can press the auto set button. This will move the motor a small amount and configure these correctly. For example, if we untick the flip box and press the auto set button again, this determines that to be synchronized we need the flip box ticked. Once the encoder is enabled and running, the readouts of the control window will be shown in green. This means that those figures are coming from the encoder rather than from the SMD4's internal step counter. To illustrate this, if we begin to manually manipulate the stage from its table, we can see that the encoder position is recognizing the actual position of the stage, despite no commands coming from the stepper motor drive itself. This time, let's zero the relative position. We can now see that the absolute and relative positions are reading separate values. With an encoder connected, we can drive the stage using the encoder itself rather than the internal step counter of the SMD4. This means that if we complete a 90-degree nudge, this movement is being performed based on the final encoder position. This ensures our final position meets the requirements of the movement we had entered. However, our target position can still be disturbed by external forces. To address this, we can enable closed-loop control. With closed-loop control enabled, the encoder will work with the motor to maintain our target position. Let's bring our stage back to its home position, and now we can try manually manipulating the table again. We can see this time that the target position is being maintained. Let's nudge the stage by 90 degrees. The movement will always perform to the target position within the area that we have specified. In this case, the encoder has driven the stage to 90 degrees within our error. For this example, we have this set to 0.05 degrees. We can increase this, for example, to 1 degree, and we will now see that when the stage is manually manipulated, it will allow 1 degree of movement before correcting itself back to its target position. Let's increase this even further to 10 degrees, and we can watch the behavior of the stage as we manually manipulate it from the table. The down arrow here can be used to select the minimum possible tolerance. This demonstration covers basic closed-loop control with the SMD4.